Nub TV. It's Nub TV.
Hello and welcome to Nub TV, the most bizarre show in the world where we mix the weirdest paranormal with the best new music. Today's theme is alien abductions. Ooh. And I'll be speaking to our Australian correspondent, Plastic EP.
Oh, I love Plastic EP.
I know, I had to drag him out of the pool to do this interview.
Oh.
But he's been researching the subject and yeah, it's quite fascinating, I think, because I'm not sure whether it's all kind of psychological, because some people say that maybe it's linked to epilepsy and different, maybe sleep paralysis, things like that.
Oh,
people
yeah,
think
the
they have
lights
these,
and...
you know, these experiences. But then you've got people like Travis Walton, you know, they've all passed lie detector tests and something's happened to them. And some of them have even got little implants, physical things. Yeah, yeah. My money's still on the government, the US government.
Yeah.
I blame everything on them, but yeah.
I won't put it past them.
So we'll see what he has to say.
Yeah. Have you ever been abducted?
You meet someone in the bar. Oh, have you ever been abducted? I think you might get arrested.
Yeah. I won't try that one.
No, not that I'm aware of. not by aliens anyway. What about you?
Series one, I think I told that story about when, I don't know, it must have been about 2 or 3, I was drawn downstairs into the living room and there was a blue kind of orb, like humanoid glowing figure.
Wow.
So that wasn't an abduction, but I suppose it might have been, and I forgot the abduction bit.
Yeah, maybe we should hypnotise you later in the show.
Actually, something's just come back to me,
Oh, yeah?
but should I talk about it later? Or?
Yeah, let's talk about it later, yeah.
Blimey, yeah.
You're right. Can you present in the next video? Or?
I will. I'll give it a good go. Yeah. So next up, we've got the pocket gods and the rich go out to
Rich go off to space.
Off to space, for God's sake. But the video is brilliant. Really, like, kind of like a bit Barbarella, a bit like 60s sci-fi. Love it.
Yeah, no Duran Duran involved though. No. Pocket gods with the rich go off to space. And that song was written about all these billionaire tycoons having their vanity projects, getting their big penises into outer space.
But yeah, I do like, there's a nice 60s vibe to that track as well. It's
bit psychedelic, I think.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, there's all these people going off to space. They're fucking up the planet and going off to their own planets and leave us all behind.
Do you think
that's what the song's about? But
are some of them already gone, do you think? Or?
Possibly. Too far gone. I've lost my train of thought. What are we doing? Now I chat to Plastic EP, all the way from Australia, about alien abductions.
So I got the amazing Plastic EP back from Melbourne in Australia. Hello, Plastic EP. What have you got for us this week on Nub TV?
How are you, Mark? I want to talk about alien abductions, and what I want to tell you is, why do aliens abduct Earthlings? Have you ever thought about that theory? Let me tell you, people get abducted every day, and, you know, they either go on the news or they stay where they are, and they don't talk about it, and then what happens is they go under hypnosis so that the stories can come out. Let me give you an idea, right? There was a guy and 3 grey aliens came through his bedroom wall.
Oh, my.
And then they wanted to take him out of his place, and he was going towards the wall with them. Oh, yeah. 2 aliens had him by the arms, and one was behind him. He thought, how am I going to go through the wall? And he closed his eyes, and they actually took him through the wall.
Oh, my.
Through to the lights and straight to the spaceship. And the great thing is, you got to ask yourself, why do they take you to the spaceship? Well, there's different reasonings. Yeah. And one could be DNA harvesting, right? So then they use your DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, they like to prod you a lot. So they like to put you on a table and prod you, right?
We like a good prod.
That's the thing they do. But you know the greatest thing of all that they do? Yeah. They'll take you from where you are, but when they drop you off, you got no guarantee that you're going to be back at the same location. So in other words, they could pick you up in the US and you could end up anywhere. So then you got to work out, what have I done? Where have I been? And why am I here?
This
Because
sounds
you got
like
no recall.
It sounds like a really good night out. End up somewhere. I don't know where you
Exactly. I reckon a few great beers at the pub and you don't know where you could end up. So, I mean, that's like the thrill of a lifetime. You go with them and you don't know where you're going to come back and when you come back and if you come back. And the amazing thing is, right, there's been so many stories. And one of the greatest stories that came out about alien abductions was the one in 1975 that they made into a film called A Fire in the Sky in the 90s. Now, what happens is there's a guy called Travis Walton.
Yeah.
There's also a TV show called The Waltons too, right? But no relation. Anyway, what happens is Travis was there with another 6 men and they're on a logging farm. You know, they're logging timbers.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens is they see this light and Travis goes towards the light and in front of everyone, he just disappears. And then no one knows where Travis is. And then all of a sudden, he comes back, but can't recall everything, but he believes he was experimented on and they interrogated him. I mean, when they interrogate him, you don't know if it's telepathy or they're speaking broken English, because I've seen a lot of cases where they reckon some of these aliens can speak broken English. It's not that good.
Just like Australians, you mean?
Well, I was going to say, have you heard of that Davy Jones song? Maybe it's because I'm a Londoner that I think of.
Shaz and Dave, cook me knees up. Yeah.
Exactly. But look, here's another story, right, of an infamous anonymous Mrs. G. And Mrs. G was putting out her laundry. I mean, what a place to get abducted. So while she's on the washing line, this light comes down, hits her, takes her straight up to a spaceship, and then she sees 3 aliens wearing metallic suits.
Whoa.
So now she's left like an outdoor clothesline, and then what happens is she doesn't understand what happens, and then she feels a sharp whack on the back of her neck, and the next minute she's back home with a full basket of laundry. I mean, that's the infamous Mrs. G story.
So that's crazy. So who are these aliens? Why are they taking people?
Nobody knows. But let me tell you, Paul McCartney put out a song called Sally G. I wonder if Sally G was a daughter.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought you'd like that one.
I
thought I'd throw that one in.
like
Also, in
the
1961, I've got to
connect.
tell you about Betty and Barney. Now, that's not Betty and Barney from the Flintstones. It's Betty and Barney Hill, right?
Yeah,
And what happens is they'll drive along a road and they see this light that appears in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
But the great thing is Barney had a pair of binoculars. So he was able to see a craft and see some figures moving around in the craft. And the next minute, they get sucked into the UFO and they don't know what's going on. And they lost 2 hours and their shoes were actually scuffed when they landed back on Earth. And they had no idea what was going on at all.
Okay, well, thank you, Plastic EP. He's back off to the pool now to do a few more laps, which is fair enough.
It's a nice life, isn't it? I'd like to be Plastic EP.
Yeah. It's easier being a guest on the show than presenting the show, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is like hard graft, whereas the guests just go off and have fun afterwards.
But it's a serious subject, and Lackey's found out all these different examples of, people having these experiences, which could be alien abductions or who knows.
So I just remembered that experience. So round about that time, as a very sort of like small child, I do remember like being in a white area and being kind of something being inserted into me, and then a weight, and in my kid's head, it was like a TV aerial.
Okay.
From back in the 70s.
Okay.
I just really remember that and it going into me, and then a real charge of energy going through my body.
Oh gosh.
So maybe that was an alien abduction. Who knows?
And this wasn't your heroin years in Glasgow.
No. Can we move on?
I guess we can, yeah. And on that bombshell, we'll be chatting next to Plastic EP after a short break.
Nub TV.
Okay, so I hear more from Plastic EP about alien abductions.
What I'm trying to say is these alien lights, they can take your whole vehicle in the spaceship too. Did you know that? So it doesn't matter what you're doing, because I could be driving down a road and there comes this beam of light and they can turn my car around as well. And then what happens is, if I'm even in a truck, they can just suck the whole truck up a tracking beam, and I'm in the spaceship. So you don't have to get towed anywhere. They just do UFO towing for you.
They just suck trucks. That's great. I like that. Sucking trucks. Sucking trucks on Nub TV.
And anyway, that's more about UFOs, abductions. But all I'm saying is, people driving at night, always be aware of scary lights, especially green lights or blue lights. They reckon they're the two colours that actually suck you up. So always be aware of that.
Yeah, and flashing red lights, of course, if you're... Any... I don't know where to go with this, really, but yeah. So
Sorry, you can do an ending to it. I reckon it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Why? I just want to know how they choose people to take. Are they, because you got Sally hanging out of washing. Why was she taken? She's obviously not doing any harm to anyone.
I don't understand why. I mean, she was sucked up just from the clothesline. But a lot of people claim that they're abducted from a young age and they continuously get abducted. It's just like their number's up and they're just the ones that the aliens want to talk to. So I don't know if they've got this policy where if they suck you up as a kid, they want to keep it going until you're an adult.
There's a lot of sucking tonight. It's a lot of
I don't get it. I can't figure these aliens out. I mean, as I said to you, it's not like they're giving you alien holidays and that. And I wonder what it's like in a spaceship. Apparently, you don't see anything. It's like a curved object and there's nothing there to see.
No games to play. Yeah. Okay, that's fascinating. A really fascinating chat with you as usual. What are you going to dream up next week?
I'm going to come up with something.
Come on with Sally. Sally in a washing.
Yeah, that's the best thing. We want
Come on
to
with Sally in a magic washing line. That would be good. All right.
Sorry?
Come on with Sally in a magic washing line.
No, we've done that now. We're over that. We did Time Travelers too. That's one of my favourite episodes as well.
That was a good one, yeah. I like that one. That was rock and roll.
You know, you don't know if you're going to go travelling forward or backwards. This is why the world is confusing at the moment. We're all confused. We need to unconfuse ourselves.
It is. There's something I'd like you to have a look at. I've seen is these TikTok witches called Witch Talk. If you have a look into that for us, that would be amazing. TikTok.
Yeah, I'll have a look at all these things that are happening around the world at the moment. But we just live in a society where anything goes. It's like, you know, you grow up as a child and you're scared of half these horror movies. And then, as I said, The Exorcist comes out and you see movies like that and people like myself can't sleep. You know, it affects your sleep. And as I said, we spoke about things that can happen to you when you sleep and dreams and all this. And it's like, it's unbelievable how we can be a person during the day and then we can switch off at night and our mind can play games with us too.
It's a different reality, isn't it? It's like sleep, nighttime is a different place. That's why I look at it. Different dimension, maybe. And maybe these
I agree,
aliens.
I've got to say.
Yeah, maybe
Nub
these
TV is going full bore, and I can't wait for people to see it here in Australia because it's, as I said, our accents might be a bit different, but we're part of the Commonwealth. And as I said, I feel so close to this show and so close to the UK, even though I'm in Australia. Because as I said, I grew up with the Queen.
And the Beatles, of course.
Of course. And as I said, your band's going great guns, and I hope you sell that album for $1 million.
We haven't sold it yet, but maybe the TikTok travelers could come back and buy it. That'd be good. Yeah.
Well, you know what? If one of you guys win lotto or something, you get the numbers, you might buy the album yourself.
Yeah. Would that be allowed, do you think? I don't know.
Imagine winning the pools, is what I was telling you, when you have dreams and you get 3 of the 7 numbers or 3 of the 6 numbers and you see the 3 numbers, but you can't recall because you wake up.
Ah, yeah, that's no good, is it? Got numbers. Okay, I'm gonna have nightmares now just about this. Okay, well, thank you, Plastic EP, all the way from Melbourne in Australia. Good night, God bless, and rock and roll.
See everyone in the UK, we love you. Bye.
So yeah, I mean, no joking aside, there's something going on here. It's quite serious and affects a lot of people. I don't think they're all attention-seeking people that want to go on rubbish YouTube videos.
There's some compelling cases out there, isn't there?
Yeah. What I find interesting is the ones that have got these implants, because how do you explain that?
Yeah.
Someone's put something in them, and apparently some of these implants are emitting radio waves.
Interesting.
So it's like, I mean, I guess my money's still on the US government, I guess.
Because
I've just like delved into an X-Files episode here.
no, I was going to say Scully had one injected into her, didn't she?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. So yeah, it's an interesting topic, I think.
Yeah, and a lot of people are kind of like suffering over these like experiences.
Yeah, and a lot of them have physical effects like radiation sickness and things like that.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Which also gives credence to their stories. And that happened to Travis Walton, that logger guy who was taken. And he came back with radiation burns, radiation sickness. He's passed lie detector tests. He's made a film about it as well.
So maybe the US government used UFOs and alien abductions as a smokescreen.
Yeah,
to
that's a
muddy the
possibility.
waters.
Yeah, absolutely. To hide their covert technology. Who knows? Let's hope the CIA doesn't close us down.
Again.
Okay, I'm not sure what's next. What's next?
So what's next? We've got Shadows and Mirrors.
Okay, yeah.
It's a really like terrifying video, honestly. Like I couldn't sleep again for like 2 nights after watching it. So we'll check that out. And you know, hide behind the sofa if it's too much for you. I recommend it.
Yeah, that was quite dark and disturbing. I guess you call that dark wave, do you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Shadow wave, dark wave.
It's like a even more depressing Depeche Mode. But yeah, he's a lovely guy.
He is.
Quite upbeat and chipper for someone
Yeah.
who maybe gets all his dark thoughts out
Yeah, I
into
think
his music.
kind of works cathartic.
I mean, if anyone that's been abducted, maybe Brian has. We could
Yeah.
ask him. Yeah.
Maybe that experience goes out into his, the darkness in his music.
Yeah, maybe. Well, another interesting episode of Nub TV. Thank you for watching and see you next time.
It's Nub, it's Nub, it's Nub TV. It's Nub, it's Nub, it's Nub TV.